Hi ho guys and gals, it's Red, your friendly neighborhood tool bear, back again here in the Den of Tools. And today we got the unabridged history, the real truth, if you will, about Klein tools. This is a historic brand in the US, having been around for over 160 years at this point. But to truly understand it, we got to go back in time to 1857. The place is Chicago, Illinois. And Matthias Klein, the granddaddy, great granddaddy, I guess, of Klein Tools, has established a blacksmith shop. Now, he came over from Germany in his early 20s, did some work in the eastern U.S. He even worked on a whaling ship as a blacksmith, doing blacksmithy type of things, sharpening harpoons and stuff like that. Works his way west because that's where the expansion, that's where the growth, that's where the business is. And he's sitting there doing general contracting, not doing horseshoes and stuff like that. Most blacksmiths doing a lot of stuff for the construction, not tools per se, but a young man comes up and says, "Hey, I've got a pair of side cutting pliers and one half had broken. Can you fix it?" He's like, "Sure, come back in a few days. I'll have you set up." Comes back and he's repaired. He's built the other half of the tool, pinned them back together, working set of pliers, ready to go. Couple weeks go by, guess what? The other original half breaks. He comes back, can you fix me up again? And he says, "Sure, I can do that." Well, like anything else back then in the trades, if you did good work, word of mouth would send people running to your door, and that's what happened. Now, of course, this is being Chicago, Illinois. This is the jumping off point for the western expansion of the U.S., and at that time, we had telegraph, soon to have telephone, and even power lines. Well, this is, all of these using essentially the same tools. Massive growth in this industry. He saw the writing on the wall and shifts focus and becomes a tool manufacturer incomplete there. All right. Now, of course, he made it through the Civil War. Of course, there was lots of expansion then after the Civil War, rebuilding, all that kind of stuff. Another opportunity to build the company. Somehow he managed to survive the Great Chicago Fire of 1871 and kept producing tools. We had war in Europe. World War I breaks out. They're still making tools. In fact, by 1937, they had well over 100 different tools in their catalog. This is a 1937 catalog from Klein. They had every kind of tool you could imagine for doing anything with running any type of cable by this point. Then we get war in Europe, and Klein is there also helping manufacture tools to get communications across up to the front lines and stuff like that. They're greatly expanding their tool line. 100 years after the founding, and Matthias Klein, just to let you know, survived until his 90s, and allegedly was working up until the end. Now, I doubt if he was like building the tools, but he was definitely running the plants and stuff like that. But anyway, here's a catalog from 1957, 100 years of Klein tools. And by this point, they are the established go-to for linemen there, or linesmen. Which one do you prefer? I've heard it both ways. I'm not trying to call you football players, but I've heard it both ways. Anyway, we got 1968 we come up to, and they have purchased the R.H. Burke Company. And now, R.H. Burke is known for their safety equipment and canvas equipment. This is a climbing belt, safety belt there. We've also got the Burke canvas bags, which by today, Klein is well known for. Now we get fast forward to 1957. 1957, they open up a drop forge manufacturing plant in Kansas, and unfortunately, I tried to see, in that plant, even though it was opened up by no less than the 1968 Miss America, that plant is no longer in operations. It got shut down, and I think most of the jobs got moved. I think it was to Texas, not exactly sure. Let's go forward to 1978, and they have purchased the W.M. Warren Company. Now, from my research, I'm told that they purchased them for their leather pouch manufacturing. The only thing I can find regarding that is an India rubber manufacturer. If you have more information on W.M. Warren and leather pouches and stuff like that, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear more about it. I did a lot of research on this, and I couldn't find anything other than this. Now we come up to the 1980s. Yeah, it's getting fun. And we're in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, where they build their master distribution center that is no longer in business. It's now a Goodwill center. 1986, and they purchase Vaco Tools. Now, I've heard it pronounced Vaco. I've also heard it pronounced Vaco. Let me know what your thoughts are about the proper pronunciation. I have good experience with Vaco Tools. I've had I think I still have a few, here and there. They're just ones I've picked up or inherited or something like that. Of course, they are now the Klein tools. Now, they made a lot of the same stuff. Particularly, I think Klein picked them up for their screwdriver and nut driver manufacturing. Now, 1989, what a year there. And we are in Roselle, Illinois. Roselle, if I pronounced it correctly. And they are building a new manufacturing plant there to make their adjustable wrenches. Of course, that plant is no longer in existence. This seems to be a trend here. Anyway, 1996, we're moving forward, and we're in Schaumburg. Yeah, that one I know how to pronounce. Schaumburg, Illinois, where they've yet built another plant that is no longer in existence. Don't worry, folks. They've kind of coalesced here. We're going to get to that at the end. 2005. In 2005, Klein acquires Calfac Plastic Company, now known as Klein Plastics. This is where they make a lot of the safety helmets and other plastic gears and the other stuff that like supports their tools and stuff like that. 2007, and they've purchased Heritage Cutlery Company. Of course, they've renamed it Klein Cutlery, which is apparently for poodle grooming and stuff. I've seen Klein scissors. I didn't know about the fine cutlery kind of stuff. Any crafting and sewing, home kitchen, industrial, of course, and grooming, pet grooming per se. All right, 2010. We're getting close to modern times, and they have partnered with Mummy. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's in Australia. This is they say it's their sister company in Australia. At this point, Klein Tools is available across the globe. North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Australia, of course, parts of Africa. They are truly an international company, if you will. Now, today, Klein Tools is proud to say that they make almost all, not all, but a vast majority of their tools are made in the U.S. As they say here, this is Klein Tools has never closed a manufacturing facility in the U.S. and sent jobs overseas. We have no intention to do so in the future. Now, what they do have, though, still running is in Lincolnshire, Illinois, is where their sales, marketing, customer service, basically where they're headquartered. They have plants and product development in Mansfield, Texas, as well as in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, Fort Smith, Arkansas, and Bolivar, New York. So they still have 6 locations in the U.S. Now, they do have locations in Mexico. In fact, they built their first plant in Mexico in 1970. But the stuff that's made in Mexico, in fact, I think they even talk about it down here. Klein Tools de Mexico operated a plant in Mexico City since 1970. This plant produces products for the Mexican and Central American markets. A few tools that are made here are sold in the U.S., like our knockout punches, but for the most part, Mexican parts made in Mexico are consumed in Mexico. They really do believe in trying to produce the tools in the country where they're going to be sold when possible, along with their U.S.-based tools. And if you ever have any question about whether a tool is made in the USA or not, just look right on the tool. There's no tool company making tools in the USA that does not emblazon right on the tool, made in the USA or USA made. They're going to say it right there prominently. You're not going to have any doubts or questions about it. The one thing I do have to say is Klein started off in the Klein family, stayed in the Klein family, and is still run and privately owned by the Klein family. How many companies can you say after 160 plus years are still run by the same family with the same name, doing the same kind of operations and trying to grow the brand slowly and steadily? You don't hear Klein going crazy. They don't throw their brand out there to get its name put on all sorts of stuff. I mean, I love channel lock and all that as much as the next person, but they do go a little crazy with the rebranding and OEM kind of stuff of putting their name on other people's products and stuff like that. Klein doesn't do that. They're a serious tool company that wants to stay close to home and slowly grow the brand in a organic manner, and I got to respect them for that. Anyway, hopefully you learned something about the Klein Tool brand and about who they are, what they are, where they come from, what they're doing. If you got any other questions or comments, put them down below. We're going to do more history videos like this. I know I've done a bunch in the past. We kind of took a break from it. We're going to get back into it. If there's other companies you want to hear about it, let the bear know. Till then, you all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.